How's it going, Vault Hunters, and welcome back to another Borderlands 2 Legendary Weapons Guide. Today, we're going to be covering the legendary TDR SMG known as the Baby Maker. Now, the Baby Maker can come in all elements except explosive and is a base game item, which means no DLCs are required to obtain this item. Now, the red text for this item reads, "Who's your little gunny wunny?" And if I had to make any character recommendations for this weapon, I would recommend Krieg and Axton, which I will explain more near the end of the video. And please note that the name of your Baby Maker may be different to mine, but it will always be some variation of the Baby Maker. Now, to get your very own Baby Maker, we first need to go to our nearest fast travel station and head to the location known as Tundra Express. Now, once you've loaded into the area, open up your map, scroll out a little bit, and within the red circle, we'll be fighting the enemy known as Madame von Bartlesby. Now, before we can go and farm Madam B, we first are going to have to progress through a main campaign quest known as a train to catch. Now, we don't have to complete the whole quest, we just need to get up to the point where Tina hands over her favorite ladies to you to blow up the train. Once you've taken Tina's favorite ladies, she'll give you a side quest known as Your Quarterly Invited Party Prep. Now, this is a multi-stage quest, but we only need to complete the first part, that being Party Prep. Now, once you've defeated Madam B and saved Sir Reginald, she will now become a 100% spawn rate enemy, so you don't even have to complete the rest of the quest to farm her. Now, Madame von Bartlesby is a red HP health bar Varkid type enemy, which means fire is extremely effective against her, and she has a 10% chance at dropping you the Baby Maker. Now, this is a really easy farm and shouldn't take you too long to do. Also, thing to note that this is the only dedicated source for the Baby Maker, so either you farm Madam B or hopefully just get it randomly in the wild from just playing the game. A little cool fact to know is that back in the day, Madam B didn't drop the Baby Maker. The Baby Maker used to drop from an enemy known as Mad Dog up in Lynchwood, who now drops the Madhouse. Just figured I'd throw that little fact out there in case any of you didn't know that. Now, the closest non-unique item in the game to the Baby Maker is going to be a purple TDR SMG with matching parts and prefix, and as we can see at first glance, other than the damage, all the stats are basically identical, with our Baby Maker having a slight advantage when it comes to overall damage, but what really makes the Baby Maker shine is that of its unique legendary effect. Now, like all TDR weapons, when you decide to reload this weapon, you will chuck it at your opponent like a grenade, and upon impact, the Baby Maker has a chance to spawn an additional 1 to 3 other Baby Makers. As you can see by the footage, every time I throw it and it detonates, a Baby Maker spawns out. So it's like you're getting double your damage, essentially, if the opponent is damaged by it. I believe it is always guaranteed for 1 to spawn in, and it is a random chance for getting 2 to 3 Baby Makers to come out of the explosion. I am not 100% on that, but I do believe it's random. Now, if you're looking to buff the overall bullet damage of this item, here are a couple items on the screen now that can help you with that. And if you're looking to buff the explosive damage of this item, here are a couple items to help with that. So since this is a TDR weapon, I figure I will cover the damage on both of its options, that being just the normal bullet damage as well as the TDR chuck. As usual, I am going to just do my normal phase lock method and then hit it with slag afterwards. And we have the 2 main damage variants for just overall bullet damage. I have a sham shield purely just for survivability, a slag grenade, and then a damage relic. I have no skills and I have no badass bar. So as we can see, it's actually fairly competitive between both variants, but let's go one more time with slag. Now that we did all the gun damage, time to do the explosive damage test or the TDR throw damage. Everything is basically the same from parts and items that I'm using. The only difference is instead of a damage prefix, I have a reload prefix. As well as I swapped out my relic to a explosive damage relic instead of a SMG damage relic. No skills, no badass bar. So just before we move on and cover the overall god roll for this item, I want to quickly show you my god roll versus the Loot Lemon god roll. This is like the official one on their website. Everything is identical from like having no element to all the parts and everything. The only difference between the two is the prefix, which kind of surprised me. They go for the brisk prefix or the fire rate and projectile speed prefix versus mine, which is the reload speed. Now, I tried to figure out why they don't prefer the reload speed. From what I've tested, there's no difference in throw distance or throw speed or anything like that. The only thing I can think of why the brisk prefix is considered the better prefix, at least to Loot Lemon, is that the overall stats for SMG mode as well as like chucking mode is better, I guess. Like it's like overall stat wise, it's better, where reload, it just benefits more to chucking the gun. So now that we know everything that we need to know, it's time to break down the god roll. So the first part we're going to be looking for is going to be the barrel, and thankfully we don't have to worry about this due to it always being locked as the Baby Maker TDOR barrel. This is what's going to give us the unique throwable effect. So the next part we're going to be looking for is going to be the prefix or the accessory for this weapon. In this case, we're going to be looking for the reload prefix. Now this is going to do exactly what it says and just give us a flat bonus to our reload speed. So the next part we're going to be looking for is going to be the grip, and in this case we're going to be looking for that TDOR grip. This is going to give us that manufacturer bonus of reload speed and magazine, plus with it just being a TDOR grip, we're going to get an additional boost to our reload speed with a little bit of a hit to our overall damage and magazine size. Next up, we're going to be looking for stock. In this case, we're going to be looking for a Hyperion stock. This is just going to give us a bonus to our overall accuracy as well as accuracy recovery. And lastly, sights. As usual, sights do not matter, so pick whatever one you like most. So that's pretty much going to do it for me. As usual, I always try and show all these items off in their most bare bones state, so you as a player can determine whether or not it's worth putting the time and energy to going after it for your character. And if I had to make any recommendations, they would be Krieg and Axton. The reason why is that they have several skills that can absolutely boost the overall reload time to throw out TDOR weapons, as well as just the TDOR damage explosions, and just they have a lot of skills that synergize with that kind of playstyle. But this is a really fun weapon. I actually didn't know that it could spawn 3. I knew it could do 1 to 2, and I remember vividly seeing like a trailer where it split up into 2 SMGs, but I never knew it could be 3. I guess I've just never seen it. But, you know, if you can get lucky enough to have, like, all 3 of them blow up at the same time and stuff, this thing can do some crazy damage, and is a lot of fun. But, yeah, I mean, I recommend going for it if you just want to have something unique. It's really good for revives, too. It's just a quick chuck. And, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me, and I'll see you next time, Vault Hunters.